So, thinking I'm here now, thinking I'm where I need to be at. Just now, looking at it for the first time before going all in. Last time I was, I won't say flustered, but a lot going on. So, you know how that is. But uh, trying to figure it out or whatever. I still haven't been able to exactly get the website that I want to pay for the data for to stream it, not let's say here per se, right? But let's say on a Google Plus or whatever, I sent the link for the live stream and I was doing it right there. I wouldn't send it unless I was doing it right there. And then boom, as opposed to going to YouTube, you would go to the other place. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to stay on topic. So this is called the no pill philosophy. This is an idea I have in my head because I heard a brother speak the other day, and it really actually was what he said. I think was very surprising. It was something to the tune of he's so much more different than other guys that are so-called red pill philosophy. And then I tell myself, well, maybe he's not exactly what he thinks is red pill, you know. And there's a lot of guys that I feel that are in this boat. They're in their own little rowboat, you know. I won't say gently anywhere up the stream, but they're making it by. And by and part, they get to make decisions that other people don't get to normally make for themselves. So when I say no pill, I mean, let's take a look at it from a pharmakia point of view. I don't take medication. I'm pretty sure there's people who've listened to me before who do. That's fine. That's whatever. But if you feel that your life would be better without that, then you're coming from my point of view. Whereas somebody's like, well, you have this sickness, this illness, you can continue to take placebos, or you can take this chemical concoction. Now, this chemical concoction, friend, is not the fake thing that you've been putting into your body. It's not just a sugar pill. So it's not just going to be you thinking you're better and then getting better in that aspect. It will be there are things taking place. So when the people take the red pill, right, and this effort to awaken their mind, so to speak, and to free their soul from the institutional, morally corrupt bondage that most people don't realize that they're subverted under, and to not to subvert you to what I think, but that's just my perception from what I've lived. Your facts are your facts. My facts are my facts. Like Sister Mary Brown likes to say, your truths are your truths, my truths are my truths. I can't change what you've experienced. You can't change what I've experienced. But with that said, the red pill mindset is a person who believes that they are no longer plugged into the system. But the system, they are plugged in. You got to understand. In the movie The Matrix, they didn't defeat the machines by not going back into the Matrix. Yay, they entered into it quite often. So how can you say that and then say that? You can't put death before dishonor and then that kind of mindset anywhere close to the same mentality. They're not even, they're nowhere close to the same. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. They're nowhere close to the same. So when people say something like, what's a good red pill? Really good red pill. Let's just use like a MGTOW type example. And we're not even talking black men in particular. We're just talking about men going their own way. And they're claiming that this is their red pill philosophy, right? Well, red pill isn't exactly the truth. You understand that? It's just a perception, because no one recognized, once again, within the matrix, that Agent Smith had become so infectious that at that point, the machine world were willing to abridge all wrongdoings for both parties to say, you know what? How about this? How about we make it better? How about if you get rid of Smith, we won't try to dust all y'all off. Does that make sense? So I don't know who the Agent Smith is among the people who've called themselves red pilling up, right? The infectious disease that Agent Smith is. With that said, why do you have to be? Why do you even have to be a part of that? The whole thing is implicative, right? That you have that mindset in the first place. Everybody doesn't have that mindset. There are people who get made fun of because they don't buy name brand clothes, because they think that that's crazy. They think you're crazy for buying into a name that's outside of quality, where they're like, I've bought a pair of this and a pair of this and a pair of this. And guess what? This pair lasted just as long as this did. It looked just as nice for just as long. So do I lose by shopping down, or am I winning by saving money, by having financial dividends at my expenditure, if I so to please, when I so please to? No pill, baby. No placebo and no chemicals. We don't need you getting hooked. We don't need you getting hooked. That should be the idea. Because then you get hooked to the red pill. And then what happens when the red pill becomes toxic? Because the blue pill is just a placebo. Just in case you didn't know. They've never told you that it's a placebo. It's not a, it's chemical compound is nothing. It's a sugar pill. That's why when they say if you take the blue pill, you just go back, because it changes nothing. But the red pill, right, if you take it, has a chemical composition that will change everything. Thank you very much. So there can be no misunderstanding. There can be no, I don't get it. I laugh. I really do. I get to see people who go to the club who, they tell me, you guys got to really understand. They tell me all the time how I'm just a hot dog guy. You only sell food for a living. The funniest part about all of this is that these people don't know me. They don't know what I do every day. Nobody knows my normal regimen as a man and how I maintain myself. But that's neither here nor there. They're basing all my character content on my profession. And these are so-called red pill people. I meet them all the time. They sound half intelligent for a part second, and then they sound like, yeah, they're still in a cocoon, because they practice going into the matrix and coming out. I don't play with the matrix. It's like I'm like an amoeba who's on like the outside of like a snow globe. You understand? Microscopically though. I don't ever want to be noticed to where they try to wipe me off and clean off this part of the snow. No. I hug so hard to the surface that even when they do put their harsh chemicals down on, somehow I make it. Outside looking all the way in. Look all the way in at the people. Be different. Be very different. Don't be overly bold, but be different. I've never said anything to anyone that's going to get their head busted. Trust me. Because I've already told you, don't do anything stupid. I say that to you all the time. So if I say to you all the time, don't do nothing stupid, it means just that. Don't be crazy. Be you, be yourself. Once again, these things are live. There's no going back. There's no taking it off. I would never want to delete it off. Not that kind of guy. This is it. This is the no pill mindset. You have to philosophize within that. So that means that you don't even have comfort from the matrix, because you know you will be ever present of that, but you will be ever present of the so-called real world that is not the real world. How can you be any more sure that when they're unplugged that's the real world? How do you know? How do you know that? Right? Unless you're not taking pills. Right? It's implicative that you were born within that mindset. Some people never had that. Let me tell you a big snap you out the matrix moment when you're a child. When you go into the store and somebody says to you, a parent, your mother, says, when we go in here, don't touch shit, do not ask for shit, because you're not going to get shit. Can you dig it? That's the kill of blue pill, red pill nonsense right there. Because a person that is in the matrix has it in their mind that they understand how the matrix works, that they're not going to let you mess up their time in the matrix. So if you never take the pills, fuck it. If you never feel like you're plugged in, you're like, well, I uncut my own wires. I just woke up one day without the pill. Didn't even have wires because I don't know what those are. I'm normal. Get out of that fucking mindset, people. Has it saved any of these people? Has it saved them? Do they not still go lay down with the same unscrupulous whores? Do they not? Do these men still not entertain the single mothers? Do they not? They're creating the problem while they're complaining about it. It is a nonsensical effort. It makes no sense. None. None. Makes no sense to even bring it up, to even bear it to mind. Who cares when you're part of the ongoing issue? And you either have yet to realize it or just don't want to admit that. Because your red pill nonsense, the chemicals in the red pill disallow your perceptual avenues to being able to perceive things in such a way that you can say, hey, you know what? Actually, some of this is totally off. Some of this shit makes no sense. None whatsoever. Listen to something. I've been hearing everybody talk about a lot of different things, a lot of different crazy nonsense, bugduggery. Let me give you one that I know most people, because most people talk about things, but they don't really actually like investigate even a little bit. They don't even scratch the surface. Jordan Peterson, I'll give you a prime example. People will be like, this guy's red pilling people. And I'm like, no, he's truth giving to his degree of understanding. What he's doing is telling people that I don't feel that the man and the woman have to be totally separated. And if these accusations continue to carry on, I don't know how to further fix it other than to nullify, to mitigate, right on, or to antiquate all efforts, consciously or subconsciously, that cause sexual attraction. That will therefore take away from the efficiency of the workplace. However, people are saying that he's red pilling people, when the man is not saying that to take the women out the workplace, to put your fucking foot on her throat, like a lot of you guys are saying, shit like that. Not, physically, but, metaphorically speaking, to where she has no ability to just gad about and do anything. I understand that if that's how you feel, but that's not what he said. So you can't even implicate that man in that form of thinking. That's not red pill. So when you imply things like that, that diminishes the entire movement of that. You're just you. I like when you're just you, people. There's a freaking billion and one red pillars out there. And like I said, my brother made me realize that he may not be as red pill as he thinks he is. Something like a no pillar. He's not on the dope anymore because the red pill is still dope. It's a permanent high, yo. If you don't try to get it out your system, you have to really think about what you're saying. You know, case in point, even if you wanted to go biblical, right? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so subversive." Okay, here's how not subversive the scripture is when you talk about things like that. If a man is to rape a woman or something like that, right? He's gone off tops. He's Dunsky. He's Dunsky. Because this works one of two ways. Either the woman cries out for help and she herself is actually a woman in distress, or she says nothing and then they imply that she's an adulteress. It's the only thing that they can do. So you stone them both to death with stones. This is what the book says. This is not what I said to do. So what this does is it discourages people, number one, to do what he just did, which is to take it from this chick. And then number two, it discourages women to not speak up. Speak up for yourself. That is your God-given ability, right? You can tell when somebody fought somebody off. It's implicative of the struggle as opposed to no struggle. Okay. So when you're saying that, right? And then the other side, obviously, where she lives, because she cries out. So they just killed the guy. You know, her reputation is not to be tarnished or sullied by the people. These are little things, and I can't carry on like that because I don't want to go down that avenue. But it's just like for people to say that that's subversive. How is that subversive? That's instant justice. He's gone. He'll never do that to nobody ever again. Never. There is no, oh, he's going to fix himself. He's done. Red pill that out the game. Once again, there's no need to take a placebo, but there's no need to take the real thing either, the dope. Because they got you unhooked from one way of living and they got you addicted to another way of living. And that way of living ain't the real way you're supposed to be living either. That's their byproduct, symptomatic response to the environment. That's just all it is. It's nothing else. It's nothing else. People, if I could tell you how many times, just like red pill philosophy would have told me this weekend that just passed when this chick did the most absurd nonsense. And I'll break it down to in a second. Red pill philosophy, right? Because there's a whole lot of these people who I'm sure these guys that are blasting each other at Walmart and stuff like that. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but these are the kind of guys who were listening to like the man channels about manning up and standing up for themselves and blah, 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 blah. And they're not dumb enough to implicate a YouTuber or somebody or a blogger, you know what I mean, into their actions. But you got to recognize they're getting these ideas from different people. There are so many people who feel like their masculinity has been compromised. You know, people are wondering why you're hearing about these random acts of violence. It's because these people are trying to prove something to themselves. What do you have to prove to me? If you've been alive this whole time in your life and you just see me today in traffic, what do you have to prove to me? Nothing. Nothing. It doesn't even matter how crazy I drive, so long as it is that I actually don't put you directly in harm's way, where you actually might have been in mortal danger. I don't see the need to kill me, to shoot at me, whatever. I do understand, though, if you put me in harm's way, or if I put you in harm's way, that might force you to feel the need to defend your life with all vehemency. I understand that. I understand that people make people angry and do things that draw the worst of the negative energy out of them. Oh, trust me, I understand that too. With that said, though, you have so many people who are listening to these guys about things like, how to conduct yourself with police officers and how to conduct yourselves with women, and they're calling themselves red pillars. How to save your money, how to start a business. I want y'all to understand though, a lot of these dudes need your dividends to say what they're saying. If they don't have a regular job, they need your money to stay afloat. So it's not like a dude who's like, yeah, I make a few $100 a month or whatever off of what people shoot to me, just on GP, But it could be, and that's just the lighting in this building, messed up electrical. I don't know what it is, but anyway, it does that. It does that sometimes. Anyhow, it's just one of those things where where it's too hard to take yourself from one environment and then its direct hostility is against the environment that it came from. Like, how far beyond that environment is it if it still thrives within that environment, or it seeks to accomplish things within that environment? Right. It makes no sense. Did you really unplug? Did you really? Or are you just on another side of this? Do all those people die when the machines or whatever transition? I mean, like, you have to understand there's no back story, forward story in the movie. You'd have to read some of the books and some of the actual written material to garnish understanding as to what the Matrix was trying to show people, and the mental barriers that we have for ourselves. So when I say the no pill, I mean it's just you have to get past your own mental barriers. Whatever you've told yourself, I can't untell you. You have to untell yourself that. You have to fix that. There's no, once again, I don't care how many red pills you take for how many different subjects. If you're still in any way doing those things, what good does it do for you to speak on that? I've said my little bits here and there about red pill this or red pill that. I don't mind the idea of men going their own way. I don't think that's a red pill concept. I think what that is just men nutting up. If you call nutting up red pill, that's crazy. I mean, that's madness. What? Being a natural man is red pilling? Are you serious? So, and excuse me, a little indulgence for my time. Sue me, YouTube. However, I just feel some type of way, y'all. I just think that while we're sitting here, and I'm like, yo, I've brought these things up. I've said things like this, but I never said that this is how you should be, by and part. I might have said like, I'm somebody going my own way, or I've taken my own version of a red pill. Once again, you got to get that dope out of your system. I've gotten that dope out of my system. It's not in my system anymore. I'm just honest with myself. Why does it have to be a name? Why does it have to be? I'm just on the Demetrius Antoine Jones thing. That's what I'm doing. I heard a dude get so in his feelings today by another brother when they was doing a live podcast. He goes in there under an alias, but at some point he gets so upset that he says his government name. And I'm like, so what's the point of you going by this other name? If in a moment of vehemency, so-called red pill venting, you drop your government. What's the point of that? Are you not this person? Is that not who you identify as? Excuse me. That's like a fucking rapper or something. Like, call me Drake. Don't call me Aubrey. What? What? Master P. I wish that dude would tell a rich anybody, any color person, or just well-off person that they couldn't call him Percy. They'd be, oh, fuck this guy. I'm never listening to another one of his songs ever again. That's his name. Don't care if you don't like your name. What name do you put on the applications to get shit done? Right. Got the nerve to talk crazy to people. And I don't know what the hell that is about folks, man. Because it's not just one brand of people. It's not just one color of people. It's all people. But it's just certain kinds of people do it more. Like back to my little thing with the hot dog stand. Just in case you thought I forgot about it, I didn't. This chick pulls me down, right? Long story short, short story shorter. I didn't feel like kissing her ass and calling her a black queen, like she felt that she was. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all something now. As black people, there's a general level of melanated skin, I guess you'll call it, that I'll congeal with. But when you actually look like Demetrius, I'm going to really rock with you way more than I'm not going to rock with you. So when you have more similar features, it's like, okay, I know that they're coming from a mindset that is at least half-ass similar to mine. When people are from not similar features, they're coming from totally, I'm not talking about, these people have like intertwined type like mindsets and dual goal sets. You know what I'm saying? Like you want the same things almost. So some of the things where like they might even joke around like he's like, man, you know, I'll never grow a beard, but you know, I'm gonna look young forever type dude. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't have any facial hair. He has none. Got like 6 whiskers here, 6 whiskers there. The little black looking Asian dude, you know, or Asian looking black dude, excuse me. Anyway, and people don't know, you know, like what the Africans a lot of the time look like to me. A lot of them when they're, you know, that color, they're like dark skinned Asians. But anyway, one is the chick got sad because I didn't want to kowtow to her. So this dude steps up for her. He get to calling me all kinds of bitches and shit. And I just been thinking of my name like, you know, like, who is this dude to call me a bitch right now? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know this nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you. He is talking crazy. I was really cool about it. I was very, very calm about it. Normally, I'm a little geek. But I've been working this new approach lately. It's been working. After he pretty much was like out of there, the chick is still there talking crazy. So I said, you know who she is, everybody? I said, she's Jezebel out of the Bible. A black woman causing strife between 2 black men. What up there, viewer? Whoever you be. But it was crazy because I'm just sitting there like, how can this one person get not just dude excited, but get her boyfriend excited and get everybody else with her excited, where it's like she caused that much strife in a matter of moments. And nobody looked at it and said, oh, she's doing wrong or she's wrong for that. Nobody actually shunned her. Okay, let me tell you, let me tell you once again, my no pill thinking versus that red pill shit. So in my no pill mind, I'm thinking somebody should have been chastising this motherfucking chick the whole time. Out of her friends should have been on her helmet. Should have been, all in her ass. So that way I didn't even feel the need to even to dictate my energy to have to even be in directed that direction. Because you can only ignore somebody for so long before they think that you're weak. So you don't ignore them per se, but you do you allow a lot of it to just be small talk and passing. You just shake your head and tell them, okay, right on. As long as they don't put their hands on you. The chick walks behind my stand after I call her the Jezebel, call her the devil. Oh, she comes and pulls on my, like, if this is my skin, but if it was my jacket, she, as hard as she could, pulls me down, but how she pulls me down is because there's a cooler behind me and I'm trying to keep myself, and there's this dude grabbing her and he's pulling on her and she's pulling on me. So it's almost like there's twice the energy pulling me. You understand what I'm saying? And so I trip over a little bit, I fall back, and then she lets me go as soon as I even like start to fall. Like, I think she like really knew better then though. I get up, I'm looking around, I'm like, did anybody see me put my hands on old girl? Everybody's like, no. Did I do anything to her? They're like, no. I'm like, all right. And I looks over and I have to tell bro, I say, look, man, if anybody puts their hands on me again tonight, man, woman, or child, this shit's about to get real out of hand, And that's just how you have to be with people. And I said, can you dig it, bro? And he said, yeah, no. So I said, no, bro, can you dig it? He said, yeah. And I went back to doing my business. And these people start clapping. It's like a little crowd of like 20, 30 people. They clapping and shit. And I'm like, man, this shit is crazy. How could you clap for this nonsense? It's nonsense. It's a hot dog, dude. Can you dig it? It's a hot dog. People always think that they're going to do something to you or that you're going to allow it to happen. They don't recognize, like, like, you're grown. You are a grown person. You are a grown man or woman. You don't have to let nobody do nothing to you that you don't want done to you. It's that simple. And I don't care who what they saying and what they trying to impress upon you. It's just that simple, Once again, the red pill is laced with opium and other drugs that'll keep you, chemically dependent. So you keep having to take red pills. This is why the red pill philosophy, that whole mindset is so toxic, because they have to keep red pilling themselves. They have to keep taking that dope. You feel me? We never really see what was in the food in the Matrix. You never see none of that. You never really. It tried to break down to you that it was really just a bunch of base protein and other nutrients that you need, but it doesn't tell you. It doesn't say that that's not the same stuff that's in the red pill. Right. To keep your body that's chemically dependent upon this substance at ease. Did they escape the biological desire to want to procreate and copulate? No, they did not. When they supposedly red pilled, they didn't escape anything. And what could they tell you that they saw what was different from where they were living than how the world used to be, other than the Matrix was supposedly showing the people what the world used to look like, and now it was a barren wasteland. So if that's the case, these people's eventual scheme and mindset would be to get back to this this um this utopia of polluting the planet and buildings that, if there's enough vibration on the planet, they collapse and they kill thousands of people if it's occupied. So I just don't understand. I can't get it. I don't get it, and I'm trying to get it. There's a real big deal about this. Like, people are gonna feel some type of way, but I've always been against the grain. This is just what I do. I go against the tide. It's me versus a fucking tidal wave. It's okay. It's all right to get crushed every once in a while. But you know what? There's that astronomical chance that when it touches down, all it does is take you away, and you ride a nice wave, baby, because it knocks everything down before you can even touch it. And you're just riding this wave. So I'm not gonna play as if I'm gonna beat the tidal wave, but I will ride the momentum of it out, as opposed to thinking that I could prepare for the tidal wave and to brace myself for it. It's okay. Because it's me versus the wave right now. It's not me versus the debris. It's, does this wave overwhelm me and drown me or rip my body to pieces? You have to be worried about that first. And these guys are telling people that they can red pill somehow and still pay their bills and still see women and have biological urges, and you know what, have different sensations in their mind, go through whatever kind of spiritual strife, whatever mental strife, emotional strife they go through. I don't see how something that is, once again, in my humble opinion, its own brand of dope is going to fix the situation. They got you doping. That's not a good thing. When they give people steroids to get better when they're getting out of the hospital, that's not good. That's not a good thing that they have to give you steroids, even if it gets you better for the time being. What happens when your body deteriorates again, or this same circumstance onsets again? It's the same shit. So I have a hard time understanding I just don't get it, man. It's it's a it's a it's a really hard fought effort. It's a struggle, but people don't. But people don't know. But nobody wants to say that, though. They don't want to say that the red pill thing. It's a pill. That's pharmakia, right? I mean, will they not base that out to themselves? Well, if you call yourself a red piller, red pill that for a moment, or no pill it. Fuck it. Get rid of the pill, like I've been saying, and get rid of the dope and stand back and look at it. Astral fucking project out of your body and look at you and say, you know what? Am I tripping right now? Am I really tripping to believe that everybody who has multiple baby mamas or no baby mamas with no kids, good, well-to-do finances, right? Or in the freaking gutter finances, understand, swirling, non-swirling, right? Black power and non-black power, hotep, non-hotep. I could go down the list. Little Power Ranger cult-looking dudes, people calling themselves prophets and shit. It's crazy. It's out of hand. It's out of pocket. But these are people who claiming that they've taken one of these pills. Get out of that mindset. It's destructive. You cannot build with broken material. Who gonna tell you that outside of me? We're a broken people. You cannot build with broken material, people. It makes a broken structure. No matter what you say, no matter how good it looks, no matter how long it lasts, if they had used fixed, remedied materials, refurbished materials, right? Then maybe their structure may have lasted a little longer, but they have nothing. They have nothing. Once again, what sense does it make for me as a man to tell you I'm so red pilled up, but yet donate to my Patreon, donate to my PayPal? Is that really red pill? If red pill is telling you, man, go against the system, go against it. Get your red pill ass up and go sell some dope then. Go subvert yourself to that. Don't subvert the man that's listening to you to have to pay you and saying that what you're producing is worthy of monetary expenditure. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. I had the little young dude tell me this weekend, Samoan dude, you know, and one of the black looking Samoans at that. He said, you know what, bro? You sell the game. You don't tell the game. And I'm like, and I'm listening to him. I listened to his, you know, his reasoning. He said, because for a $5 hot dog, you tell people hella game. So you're selling it. He said, because it's to be sold, not told. But what he doesn't recognize is, man, I'm saying things to people that even if they're not gems, if you apply it to your life, it's worth a lot more than this $5 hot dog could ever be worth, you know? And so in that sense, I'm telling people stuff. I'm just giving it away. I have people tell me all the time, bro, oh man, you could get paid being a speaker, or you could get paid doing that. I don't want to do that. That's nonsense. That's foolishness. Once again, if you're outside of all this, you want as little to do with that as possible. You want the ability to produce information to people, but you want the peculiar crowd of people to get that information. You don't want everybody to have access to that, because what happens when those who are your opposition, who seek to shut you down, they know your game plan all the way through and through, because you gave them the channels to access you. Whereas myself, this is called Expound-No pill philosophy. Nobody's gonna look for this. They're not gonna look for this. It's gonna be like all my other videos where like my real number of people that actually mess with me view the product. You know, the product which is what I produce. You know, I'm working on a Noah's Sons Part 2 little thing right now, and a couple other little things. Got a little joint with Roger Spice, you know, that I want to do. Some conversational stuff that we've been having over these last few months and whatnot. But anyhow, the whole point is I just don't know at what level do I at what level do I or do we as people, man, say like we got to just step back. You know, we got to just step back. We have to totally fall back from the thinking that this is gonna work for us, and it's not. It's not working. It's not working. You know what I'm saying? It's just I mean, man, it's not working, you know. And no matter what anybody says, tell me one red pill guy that's out there making sure that people have everything that they need. Who's that guy? Who's that gal? Tell me who they are. They're all selfish, money-grubbing vampires. They're like that one dude in the Matrix who gets taken over by Agent Smith. You know, like the human who gets taken over by him and shit. Like, they're like him. You know, that's who they are. A lot of these people. They're straight Agent Smith in the flesh after you red pilled. How do you get away from him? Right. Do you understand the point now? that you took the dope just to find out that the villain in the original setting that you were in or up against, yeah, where they had this sort of omnipresentness, they became truly infectious by their desire to end you without them even noticing it, because they were programmed to do it such. So the red pillars that are telling you to give up your hard-earned dividends, right? Have they noticed that they're just as much to blame? And they'll tell you that I got to get paid too. Okay, so what part of the red pill game can you tell me is like the agricultural growing your own food stuff or the MGTOW game? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like there's too many different little things that I don't want to hear. So either that's actually impossible as a person to aspire to, and what they're trying to tell you to do is fake, and it's all numbers based, being that if you do enough unscrupulous things, you'll come up too. And they're not going to tell you that they've done things that are ill-mannered, so to speak. They're not going to tell you that. Why would they tell you that? Why would they say to you that I have, for example, I give you a prime one, and I'm giving you a prime somebody's life that I know, it's vicarious living. So if they tell you something like, I have been arrested for selling, got caught with 7 kilos of methamphetamine. When they caught me and they charged me and convicted me, they made me a drug kingpin, and such, right? This is now who I am, right? The drug kingpin. So this person, no matter how you try to run it, that's who they are. Okay? That's how they get paid. How can they try to make it glorified now? Like, oh, I lived outside the system or I did something different. No, you preyed on people who had a chemical dependency. You preyed on them. Or do a lot of people who sell drugs do drugs themselves? Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That's fair. That's fair. But there's a lot of people who don't do dope at all, who sell these drugs to people. There's a lot of people who sell weed who don't smoke weed. And they do other stuff, like they pop pills or they go drink, or they got, trust me, they got something very dark going on normally then, And I don't judge them. They're them. Let them be them. But I'm not going to tell you that I've red pilled out of the game and I'm still here living in it. I'm just no pilling. You feel me? If I was in the room and I was Neo, nigga, I don't want either one of those. How about that? Let's see what happens with that ending. Right, but we're not going to ever see that. We'll never experience that. So I need not worry about that. I've lost my mind sometimes, but there's no shame in knowing that you've lost your mind. There's shame in just knowing that you haven't lost your mind and that you were crazy. You're freaking crazy. Anybody who can tell you that they've taken one of those so-called red pills and are doing much better now. What are the yielded results of that? Outside of the fact that, once again, you're now chemically dependent upon the truth dope or the truth serums, so-called, because that's what red pill is supposed to be. It's supposed to be the truth. I'm not knocking anybody who thinks that way. I'm just saying that, like, you do recognize that that's another form of self-medication. So you're going to dope yourself up on this mentality as opposed to saying, I don't want either one of those. Isn't that real death before dishonor? To say, you know what? I don't want anything to do with any of this. Is that not? That's why people look at me crazy, you know, because I refuse to comb my beard unless I'm like really like unless that day I was really doing something and I just got like bored or whatever. I don't do that. I don't groom my all that nonsense up. That's if you care that much, you do that. But don't tell me that makes me a man to do that. Okay? Because if another man can walk up to you with your well-groomed face and your well-groomed hair and punk on you like you ain't no man, then what the fuck does that mean? Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out, people, is how does a philosophy that is supposed to be based on truth not actually set you free? Neo wasn't free in the Matrix. This nigga was fighting the machines, in case you forgot. So now you no, but they're not fighting the machines. These so-called red pill dudes are not fighting the machines. They need your dividends so they can go chase the females, so they can tell you about their all their brand new perceptions, why they used your money to do it. And that's what you're listening to. You're listening to dudes who spent your money chasing women and telling you about what they figured out while they did that. It's, I don't know. If that's what you call red pill, then sure, that's fine. You can have all those pills. You can have them all. I don't want one of them. And if not taking a red or blue one means that I'm dead right there on the spot, fuck it, kill me. I'm dead. I'm gone. I'm out the game. I don't have to worry about that though. Living fake and somehow thinking that I'm living true, but I'm still faking it. Or I'm a faker on another level. It's crazy. And don't nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear like that's what it is. It's faking on a disgusting level, you know. I don't need the love of a pat on the back to know that I've done the right thing. And I sent the link out just then, just in case somebody want to hop in and agree to disagree or whatever. But my whole point is this. Where do you get off? Me or anybody else telling somebody to take a pill, dude? And then we'll tell them in the same sentence something about pharmakia. Does that make any sense to you as a grown-ass person? I mean, I want you to really digest that and eat that for a second. It's the same things that, like, once again, I cannot subvert you to something that has actually been scientifically proven. Even though I don't really lean to science being what it is that I think it's not, I know it's just a tool. It's not even a means to an end. It's a bipartial means to get to a means for the end. But however, if I were to say to you right now, scientifically speaking, eating fat is horrendous for your body. And to eat the blood of an animal might even be even worse for you. And that's written in a book. And those were tenets for thousands of years ago. I want you to think about that. Thousands of years ago, they produced that information. A lot of it is medically, scientifically proven to be beneficial. Almost all of it. The things that they don't understand are the things that they disagree with. Yet, however, this is thousands of years ago. So even if you take a scientific and medical pedigree off of the information is still correct. No pill needed. No, not one. You know what it takes? Practice, discernment. When I was in the Marine Corps, they used to tell us something like honor, courage, commitment. When you used to go to sleep at night, you used to slap your little bunk. That's what they used to make you say. Yell it out. Honor, courage, commitment. Then you jump in your little bunk and go to sleep. These people who are telling you things about how to live your life or how to approach women or what kind of women to date, these dudes are dead. Listen, if a person will tell you a woman ain't shit, but it'll be like, oh, I'll fuck a single mom, what kind of person are they? Ask yourself that and really tell yourself the truth. Right. And don't excuse yourself. I'm not excusing myself either, but I don't talk like that. I've got over 150 videos. And maybe in 2 of them, I actually like really address women like outright. And even then, when I'm talking to the women, I don't talk to them like how these other dudes are talking to them. I don't care. I don't care. If she wants to open her legs to somebody, let her. Let her. That's her. That is her prerogative. It's her prerogative. Are you going to stop her? Are you going to stone her ass to death? Are you going to stone that nigga to death? No, you're not. Are you going to fall on the sword for everything you've done wrong? I'm not about to. Nope, I'd rather seek forgiveness. But I'd also rather not tell other people things that don't make no kind of sense. What I'm saying does actually add up. Whether you believe it or not, it adds up. And it makes total sense. Ask yourself this right here for a second. Name one person, name one who can say, like, you know what? My only problem with the Black Panther movie was that Black people don't spend this kind of money for regular expenditure. And that's their only complaint. Not that it's not really about Black people, because I could care less. It's a freaking movie. It's a movie. Do you know what a movie is? A motion picture, by definition. That's what a movie is. A moving picture. A moving picture that they put stories in. It's nothing. And nobody has an issue. Once again, no pill thinking. Where is our mindset to just go buy our communities nice things? Right. Right. How much money do you think these they spent millions? People spent millions of dollars buying popcorn, candy, all kinds of shit, bringing their own little single shots or fifths or whatever into the movies. I'm being real with you. This is what was going on. So once again, where's the mind for the people who call themselves red pillars to say Black people? If you want to know what a real accomplishment is us using our money, putting it together, pulling it with people who can be held accountable. Number one is people who can be held accountable, and then number 2, who are fiscally responsible to do something for us if we choose so to do such. And people are talking about all the movie is this, and I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. Most of the people in the movie aren't Black Americans, so they'll never know what it's like to be a nigga, because they'll never call themselves one of those. Never. Soy cubano, soy dominicano. Right. That's the kind of shit you hear. Okay, when they don't want to be you. I'm Nigerian. They crack me up. I'm from Zambia. That's what they do to you, though, right? Once again, somebody tell me that I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Whoever, somebody tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm a motherfucking liar if I am. Because they don't want to be you. But they want to get your money, though. They want to get the critical acclaim that your people have done. And I'm not knocking Blacks nowhere else, but the Blacks in America have been the most innovative that we know of in the last 500 years. Don't be like, oh, some civilization that they fail. They let outsiders come in and conquer them. I can't respect that. I can't respect that. It's totally different when you're shipped somewhere. People are found in another place, once again, also conquered and enslaved. And that happens to you. There's nothing to say about that. For you to have been standing on you feel me, 10 toes down, chest out, and they have gotten smacked down because you were stupid enough to let people go out of your land who were the backbone of everything. And then somehow, right, I'm supposed to be the or you're supposed to be, or we're all supposed to be together. We're not together on that. Once again, I'm not red pilling and then telling you nonsense. I'm not, no pills needed, no dope necessary. This is the issue with too many people, man, is that they want to hear what they want to hear. You know, they don't want to ever deal with the actual truth. Truth is this: because black people don't put their money up for nothing, because black people don't know they don't know shit. And I'm the first person, I'll tell you right now, I don't know nothing. I don't know a fucking thing. So if I don't know nothing and you don't, and you know less than me, you really don't know shit. It's that simple. And that's the problem with people. They don't want to tell themselves that. Man, everybody wasn't well educated in this, that, and the third. Do you know the slaves who left to become thinkers, shakers, movers, and things like that of the sort? They were raised. I'm quite. If you were to look at a lot of those different guys' upbringing, there's probably similar things that happened that allowed for learning to take place at some part in their life, where learning later on was much easier. So, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. We were not ever supposed to get free, people. No pill that for a second. That's a sobering thought for you. They want to tell you that you would have got free eventually. No, the fuck you wouldn't have. There's still slaves in India, yeah? They got slaves in Mexico, yeah? You have house servants in America still. Listen to me. You have house servants in America still. And what did they do after you couldn't be slaves no more? We already know they created prisons. So once again, I want you to think about this. You really honestly believe your black ass is supposed to be free? No, you're not. Get real with yourself. Tell yourself the truth. You're like, how could he move from one thing to the other? Because we have to. Because this is all part of the different little things that I hear people talking about. I hear all these different little things, and I got to address it. Because if I don't address it, it'll never get addressed. There's a lot of guys who I see, they placate dudes. They're placating fuckery. How could you call yourself anything? It's just, why are we, why? Once again, I will never ask you for $1 of your money. Not for nothing. Not for nothing. Not because I don't ever need money, but because I don't need to stress what I'm going through upon you and then to act as if I'm some kind of fucking sage. I pray I never get over a certain number of subscribers. I pray there's just a heavy concentration of people that just want to hear this kind of content. I love to focus on just what's in the Bible, how we can find scientific notions that are actually very supportive to the narrative that we're reading. I love to do stuff like that. But I have to go and do things like this because it's like I might take a whole week off and not really be doing too much. And I'm just listening to other people's stuff and I'm like, holy shit, this is what they're making. So this is what people hear after they listen to something that I'm a little fish out there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like a little muscle shark. You understand me? You know, I won't just let you punk up on me. I'll get up out of there if I feel like, you know, I just can't take all that. But, you know, there has yet to be a situation that I didn't think that I couldn't, you know, at least make my presence felt. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see the. Once again, people, tell me this some no pill thinking. How many times has a person ever told you just looking at the Bible and reading it logically, right? Just from a moment of logic, that the dude named Noah, his sons could only be triplets. Who has ever said to you logically that even if Esau was a white dude somehow, right? Because somehow redskin, we call black people red bone all the time, but that don't mean nothing. Anyhow, how could he have logically had a black brother who had black features and he have still not have had black features even if he had white skin? Right. And if he went and bred with people, what people are trying to claim are all black people in the Bible, his children would have been what color? Well, what kind of features? Okay, then. So why would those people, a whole clan of them, breed themselves out? How could they? Right. It doesn't even make sense. Makes literally no sense. None whatsoever. So do I think that there could be white looking people once again of a certain caste? Of course. This is because I was listening to a brother the other day who said something along the lines of intelligent brother too. And then he was like something. Yeah, Esau, the European white man, and I'm like, here we go with this shit. You know, where I just can't take that serious. I mean, like, there's just too much logical thought that goes into saying something like that. Where I'm like, you clearly ain't been thinking about this. Clearly, you haven't. That's like a black woman giving birth to a mixed child, and then a black man being like, "No, that's my baby." How? How is that yours? You're black, she's black, and the baby's mixed. That is not your child. It makes no sense. But we're forcing that on each other. I don't like it. But it's life. Hold on. With that said, and I have to like supplement this whole no pill thing. Because you got to stop taking pills. You got to get off the dope. Don't ever let a person who has never been in and like once again, I'm 27, so I can say this. I'm nice and young. Shit happens in my life still. If the last time they can say that they've been in a physical altercation was like, I don't know, 10 years ago, hell, I'm even gonna say 5 years ago, they probably have an avoidant mentality. Okay? Because I get into stuff happens with me. It just happens. It's life. So I don't understand, you know, how manly are these people for real? How really with it are they for real? If they don't have those kind of exploits to ever share with you, ever. I want you to think about that. Ever, never. And these are the type of dudes who talk about how they're real men. Yeah, all their activity, when you surmise it up, They spend more time on the internet and researching shit than they do probably outside. And yet they want to tell you how a real man's supposed to act. This shit is crazy. It's fucking crazy. I work outside for a living, homie. If anybody listening right now, so pleased to, as I was selling them a hot dog, chose to slap the shit out me, guess what? All I can do right now is slap you back. And it's time. It's time to tear up the streets of Seattle. So, and that's just what it is, you know. And people don't want to hear the indefinite truth. You know, it's the indefinite. It's not a I don't know how to put it. It's not rude to tell you something that makes sense. You know, people want to hear, oh, some super duper silky voice. He wrote everything before he said it type shit. I'm not coming like that. If I come like that, it's because I choose to come like that. But I choose to tell you what nobody else, once again, I don't ever hear it being said. So now it's a necessity to bring it forth. If one of your big YouTubers was saying any of the things that I really say on a regular basis, I probably would have never became a YouTuber. Never. There's no need to. There's no need to go out and say what everybody else has already said, what they're already saying. The necessity is based and built solely upon trying to, once again, imbue to others that you don't have to take just the narratives that you're hearing. Because these are their narratives. These are not our narratives. And hello, viewers. You know, I see there's 4 of y'all in our little campfire. We're going to kick it. We're going to kick it for a little second, but all 3 of us, forget it. However, while we sit here, I just want you to think about that. Think about that right there. No pill. So that means no dope in your system on that level. Because I'm not giving you opium right now. I don't believe in that. I personally don't believe in that. I personally don't believe that it's my place to tell you how to treat a woman. That's your choice. That's your prerogative. So that's where it comes, where if a dude has just one wife or he has multiple wives, excuse me, that's your prerogative. If you're like, I can barely handle one chick, why would I tell that guy to go be with as many women as he can be with? He can barely handle one. He can barely handle one. I'm not going to give this dude my so-called red pill fucking philosophy and drive his life into further oblivion. That's what that's going to do. I'm going to tell that dude, man, you do what makes you most comfortable. You do what makes you feel like you're thriving the most. If you feel like living outside in a cardboard box, nigga, while it's cold to everybody else, but it's just crisp to you, and you feel like that's cracking, bruh, if that's you and that's thriving, my nigga, so be it. I'm not mad at you. But I don't want to hear that same person saying that that's their red pill. And they're like, well, you know what, man? I just wish people would give me more money for free because I'm homeless. Well, nigga, you choose to be homeless. So how can you want something, but yet you chose that? You choose to treat women a certain type of way. So the responses they're going to give you are going to be based on how you treat them. I don't treat women nice like a lot of other dudes do. So women get angry with me a lot of time. I mean, women get very angry with me. So I don't have the same issues that a lot of the other guys have, because chicks only like my face for a little bit. And then they start to see that he's like Frankenstein or something. You know what I mean? He pulled the okie doke. And it's not an okie doke. It's not a hook and jab. It's being smart enough to know that you have to be you. You can't hold back you. A lot of these dudes are holding back them just to freaking be with the chick. This is what these so-called red pill dudes are saying. They're like, yeah, just fake it with the chick, hit that, and then move on. But the same red pillar dude will be like, oh, chicks are whores. Did you not just tell this dude a plan to make the chick a whore even more? Did you not just promote that to him? So it's that kind of mentality that is so double-minded, and yet they'll call the feminists double-minded. A lot of these dudes were raised by women. A lot of them were raised solely by women. I know my father. I was raised by my mother and my father for up until I was 8. They split. Then my mom got married again. But I've always had male influence, and I've always known my dad, even when he wasn't there for the years he disappeared or whatever and all that stuff. I always loved my father. I always loved my dad. With that said, there's no way that a person's going to tell me, or you should even listen to it, that a man and a woman are to be on their terms, and that's what's acceptable, and this is what makes the most sense. No, bro. What makes sense is that if you and a woman figure out a way to make shit work, even if it doesn't look like to everybody else that it's working, but you two know that you guys are actually loving each other, maybe not all the way in love all the time, but you love each other and you care for one another, and you actually are making it right on. Who cares what the rest of the people think? You know, you got too many of these guys who want to tell you about, oh, I've been with all the pretty chicks that you can think of and all the rich ones that you can think of, but where the fuck are these niggas now? On YouTube asking you for your money. So once again, how red pill alpha male are these niggas? Right. Ask yourself these questions. It's the same thing with the dirty ass chicks, but there's more dudes who want to try to throw the bitches under the bus. It's weird. It's really weird. Like, where like if they just left, and I see, excuse me, I call the women bitches. See what I'm saying? Like, that's my mentality. But I'm not even going to imbue that upon you. Throw the women under the bus. Where it's like, my nigga, don't even talk about them. Don't even let them into your thought domain. They just came into mind because I had to expound that. But that's just what I'm saying, bro. Don't even let what they do come into your thought domain. All their whorish actions and behavior, you can't even let that be who you are, because then that diminishes you as a man. And most of these dudes don't want to hear that they've been diminished by the chicks. That's why they're here now. A long time ago, I said something along the tune, and most people want to disagree with this, but I would say if I had to compare men to anything, they're most like a metal, like a steel, right? Hard metal. They're shaped while they're still young in their molten stage. And in this molten stage, they receive their shape. See, some men, you see, are shaped and fashioned beautifully. And their whole life, they go through normal wear and tear. And some people are fashioned beautifully and they age beautifully, gracefully. And some people are fashioned in not as good fashion. And therefore, their graciousness and degradation is not as nice as the first two former mentioned. However, that cannot be who we are as people. Just because we weren't given tools that we think that we need or that we desire, that doesn't change you. That doesn't diminish you. That doesn't make you. You see? And people are built on who they are, what they can say that they've accomplished. If I can't tell you that I've accomplished anything, is that not an accomplishment? Because if I'm still alive to tell you that I've accomplished nothing, I've accomplished staying alive to this point to tell you that. But it just depends on how you're looking at it. It's not always, is it half full or half empty? It's sometimes, is there water in there or not? Give me that little splash of water. I'll take that little splash over no water. Because that guy's cup over there, completely empty. and he looks like he was thirstier than me. So I'll take that. But there's too many people out here telling you things that are going to get you hurt. They're going to make you go out here, deal with too many women, or deal with the woman who doesn't care about you. They're going to have you dealing with people who have no kind of scruples in their business endeavors and get you physically hurt by somebody. They're going to have you go out here with your little cape on, right? Thinking that you don't have a cape on, but you got a cape on for a red pill. So anytime you see some crazy shit, you might feel the need to speak up or step up, when the real player thing to do is to act like you didn't even see it, even though you've seen it. Because what does it got to do with you? Nothing. Nothing. If this dude want to be a simp, I let niggas know when they get in my hot dog line. When they're buying food for the females, I let them know they're simping to their face, so they can leave the hot dog line if they want to. You know, bro, I lose business. I don't just, you know what I'm saying? I don't just miss it sometimes. Sometimes I lost them forever. They're gone. I don't care though, because I don't want certain types of people around me. Their money I don't want, because I have no red pill dope in my vein. I have niggas who come out here with the red pill stuff, and yet he got his little female with him, right? He's a brother with the white chick, right? How can he can't feel my struggle all the way with the white girl, because there's certain shit with her that he can't talk about lest he offend her. And he may not even recognize he's offending the chick. There's no way you're going to tell me that you met somebody who's not your race, who's feeling your people more than your people are feeling themselves, bro. They're not black, so they don't have to deal with the self-hate that a lot of black people dealt with growing up. They don't. They don't. Like, this is weird. Like, once again, like as everybody can see me, right? I'm not dark skinned. I'm not a dark dude. But my light's on me. I'm not this light either. But I'm light brown, right on. Yo, check this out. Some niggas will be trying to be like, I meet people all the time. This is funny. Where, depending on the day, they'll be like, oh man, you're like a light skin. And then other days, I'll have a dude who's like a real light skin. Be like, oh man, you're dark skin. And I'll laugh to myself. I'm like, you hear this? The dude who's almost white looking, call me light skin. I mean, call me dark skin, dude. You're white looking. But I don't even go into that. I don't even go into that with the darker dudes, you know, who are just a little bit darker than me and got the nerve to want to call me a light skin. It's like, dude, get out of that. Get out of that. If you think that house niggas weren't dark skinned or light skinned or medium toned or whatever, you're tripping. They came in all colors, shapes, forms, and fashions. And that's what the movie Django tried to illustrate by making the head house nigga a dark-skinned person. So that way you could get the whole house niggas is light-skinned shit out your head. They tried to eliminate that, and you didn't even take the hint. Showing you that the niggas that are really sell you out are probably the ones that are of darker hue, who really want to get treated better. Because the lighter hue ones get treated a little bit better anyway. So he gonna spend his whole life licking master's boot if he got to. And nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. You know, I'm just telling you what I perceived as a young black man growing up on earth. You know, I have my mother who's a little bit darker than me, and my father who's a little bit lighter than me. Where they're black people to me. To other people, they're black people. That's from their generation. That's because people from their generation, the first wave of the last wave of baby boomers, the first wave of Gen Xers, right? And when I say the first wave, I'm talking about that first 10 years from 65 to 75. They have a more they're understanding for some of that stuff. And I'd even cut down 5 years and say 65 to 70. You know, their mentality is just different. It's really different, you know. But people born in the '60s are special people. Just like people born in like the mid to late '50s are really special people because they're almost as experimental as the millennial cast that I'm in. But anyhow, what I'm saying is this: my parents are my parents. They're black people. I can never change that. I never make that different. I will always accept this. I will accept being a black man. But what I will not accept is the fact that I have to listen to people who will try to antiquate, render obsolete, or to nothing what it is that I'm saying or what I believe based on because what they've been told is not totally backed up, not only by science, nor by so-called fucking professionals. None of it, none of it, none of it, none of it, none of it is really backed up the way they think. It's all based on what somebody else thought. There's so many people who trash Sigmund Freud, Karen Horney, Carl Jung, Alfred Adler, Eric Erickson, all those names, all those people. They get trashed all the time by people. Yet their works are still used as viable evidence. Darwin gets trashed all the time, and people still use Darwinianism theories. So just because people are saying something to you, or just because it's not being said to you, doesn't make it right and doesn't necessarily make it wrong. You have to know where this shit falls in your life and how it circumstantially actually applies to you. If you're not the type of dude to go out there and go to the clubs, going to the clubs and talking to women at that kind of environment, that information is not for you. And you don't need to be looking for dudes to give you that kind of nonsense because the club is a horrible place anyway. You see what I'm saying? If you can't go out and just go to places where people socially get together and hope to find a woman or get online and go to what I call the internet bar, right on, where there's no liquor, you got to bring your BYOB, but you can. It's the same nonsense. I don't feel the need to go on to it, but it's just like this is how somebody broke it down to me, and it makes sense. You pay to go to a bar, you pay to go to do all that. They're like you could pay a lot of money in a month, or you could pay that one time for this website, and then look around. And you don't ever have to get on the website. You don't ever have to do that. But that's how you invest your mind into, okay, I'll leave something here and then maybe somebody will hit me up. Maybe they won't. But while you're looking, right, you don't put yourself in needless positions. Because the same whores you're going to find on a so-called serious dating website are the same whores you're going to find in the bar, in the club, wherever. It's the same people. So you can try to be like, oh, that's a sucker move. You're more of a sucker for thinking that the person that you just laid down with tonight doesn't have one of these profiles somewhere. And on one of these unscrupulous websites where she's just trying to get drilled by somebody, or he's just trying to drill the chick. He has nothing else on his mind, nothing else on their mind. So once again, I don't understand where people get off trying to tell you certain stuff. You have to get in where you literally fit in on that spectrum. If you don't fit in anywhere, that means you're not going to get in anywhere. That's okay. You're not meant to thrive there. That's fine. That's fine. I don't drive a Maserati or a Mercedes and I don't want to really to be perfectly honest with you, I really don't want to. I've been inside all those kind of nice cars. And I might have even driven some of the cars that I've talked about before in the past. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a freaking thing. And all these people are talking about are things that they have either never done, a lot of them have never done, aren't doing right now, or have no idea about. So what else is there, people? How can you win when once again they're telling you to think a certain way? Oh, you got a red pill up on these chicks. Well, what's his version of red pill? How much dope is in his red pill? How much cut is in his, does he have in his pill? Because that's the most indefinite, most important thing. You know, how much how much how much of the real is in his pill for you, so to speak. Because if he's just like, yo, bro, just do your own thing. Don't even worry about them. If they talk to you, they talk to you. If they don't, they don't. Ah, you'll make it. You'll live. That's one. Or he could be like, oh, bro, no, man, what you got to do is you got to look for the ones who make eye contact first. You know, those are the ones you want to talk to. Like, whatever they think in their mind is red pill knowledge. And because they have a following sometimes, they believe that what they're saying is true. They have to recognize that they have a lot of beta male, as they once again they talk about this shit. But a lot of the dudes that are listening to them are beta, not alpha or sigma or none of that. They're none of that. They're just regular dudes, regular ass dudes. Most of them who ain't never been in a fist. Most of them who ain't never been in a fisticuff brawl. Never. Never. And got the nerve to tell you some shit about being a man. I carry a gun to my job because I have to, not because I want to. I'm licensed. The cops hate it. They're a part of my opposition when I go out there. I have to worry about them too because I'm a black man with a fucking gun. So a lot of these guys don't have to deal with some of the things I've been dealing with for years and years and years. And I don't have the kind of listeners who are so vehement to say, you know, and I'm glad that I don't, that people aren't so stupid to say some of the shit that I see that people's comment sections about how, like, for example, I was reading this guy the other day, and he was telling a gentleman about how he spoke, and he was just telling him, like, yeah, man, keep preaching these truths to people because they need to open their eyes. And I'm like, that's fine. But what are the truths? What are the truths? If I tell you once again that I look down on a certain way of thinking or a certain way of living, yet I indulge with people who do that same thing, what kind of person does that make me? Right. I'm only asking because I want to know. And that's not knocking nobody, shunning nobody. That's just one of those things where it's meant to see, you know what it is. What up, Roger Spice? A second. I'm like that. I'm all in it. Anyhow. The whole problem with this stuff is this right here is that there's just too much going on. You know, you got too many people who are in their emotions, not really being real with themselves. You know, too many so-called grown men who just, to me, they don't know better. You know, they don't know better. If they knew better, they wouldn't tell you the stuff that they're telling you, y'all. They wouldn't. They couldn't. Not in good faith. Not in good faith. How could I tell you as a so-called, black man, your brother, that it's not good to date women? How'd you get here? Tell me that, Sherlock. How the fuck did you get here? Huh? With that kind of thinking. Right. It's the most nonsense you ever heard somebody ever say. Oh, stop being with your people. That is the craziest shit ever I've ever heard somebody say. You're only black because your parents are black, nigga. Appreciate you too, Roger Spice. Appreciate you very much, big bro. You know, but the true game, man, is that you're black because your parents are black. So how can you dunk water on the flame of what is supposed to keep your people going? The idea should be to make ourselves so fucking good that these black bitches just want to fold, bro. They just want to fold for you. You have to become that. You have to make that. But I can't tell you how to be you. You know you better than anybody on this planet. Can't no doctor tell you shit about yourself. Nobody. And if you can't appreciate that, then can't nobody appreciate you. And ain't no woman gonna appreciate you. Know what you're working with. People get mad, but I'm gonna pull a move from a local chump in a lot of people's book. That man said, "Know yourself and know your worth," by Mr. Drake, and whoever he got that from is a very intelligent person. And if he coined that one himself, just thinking about stuff, that's real. Know yourself and know your worth. If I feel like that woman can have any dude of any substance value, I need to leave that woman alone. Because I don't have substance of expendable value. I have substance to get to today, tomorrow, the next day, and then we'll figure it out from there type stuff. But I don't have the kind of money where we could just go spend hundreds every day and it's not a problem. And for the people who do, good for them. But it's like, those are the kind of brothers that should be trying to do stuff for other brothers. Those should be the brothers who are going out, buying brothers suits and shoes and ties and stuff like that, and teaching brothers. Once again, where's that dude at with this video teaching brothers how to tie the tie? Like, this is how you really do it. Like, as a brother, like, we're going to go to 3 different places, and I already have a job, but I took a week off. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to show you how to, get a job. It's the same thing with the chicks, dude. You have to see different things. You have to see different people who are similar to you more than not similar, so that way you can understand what it is that you're really working with. Because how can you say, well, I'm working with this, but really you don't know what you're working with, because you've never seen you in action, because you've never put yourself in action. So it doesn't make any sense. Not to me. Not to me. Once again, how can a person tell you to take a pill and then tell you, about government fucking dope in the same breath? Be like, yeah, man, red pill philosophy, man. And then be like, the government's got everybody hooked to opium. It's like, how did they get them all hooked to opium? They didn't get them all to start smoking and snorting it. No, they gave them pills first. So what are you saying? Are you saying we should take your pill? No, I'm telling you not to take a pill. I'm telling you to go off the meds. To go off the Richter and to do what I would do for sure, which is look like a crazy one. I love looking crazy. Right now my hair is done, so I can't, but I love when my hair is just all unkempt, uncombed, nappy, but oiled. Well oiled. Very nice. Very nice life. You have to be like that. That's how I approach this whole no pill thing, is that just be well lubricated. That's it. Be oiled up for this shit. Be ready for this. Be ready for the real tussle of your life, because you're going to see so many people say things that don't make any sense. You're going to hear them say things. People you respect, people you would love, you admire. I say things that sound crazy, and I tell people I'm going to sound crazy before I say it. So there's no surprise. But these people say what they're saying in a level of matter of factness that is bewildering, because they'll be like, well, women are whores, sucking their white daddy's dick, or the government, blah, 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 blah. And then you're like, okay. And then they're like, yeah, man, hit me up in my Patreon, donate to my PayPal. You know, if you guys want more content like this, it's going to take you guys, you know, to go ahead and step on up a little bit. And I'm like, wasn't this dude just talking about women being whores? And this, it's like, if they didn't pimp you so hard just then, if they didn't pimp you so hard, because I'm feeling like you got pimped. I'm feeling like that's a pimp move. I could be wrong. I could be hella wrong. But that's a pimp move in my book. So tonight, once again, because I'm not gaming nobody, because I'm not out. That's why I don't ask for anything. So I can just say what I'm saying. And you take it at face value. You either hate it or you love it. There's no, I'm not mad at you for not liking it. Does that make sense? I'm not mad at anybody for not wanting to deal with me. That's on them. They're grown. No pill, baby. We're just straight up. You know, I don't tell people to go and do what I do. I tell them, as a matter of fact, the opposite. Do as I say, not as I do. They're like, that's a hypocrite move. Is it really hypocritical for me to want to save you if I feel like I can't be saved in the same avenue? Is that really hypocritical, or is that just being preventive? Right. Right. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Some of the best wisdom you can get from people is the things that they did that you know you shouldn't do. That's the RIP to my man Rontez McClure, aka Head. And he said just like this. He said, take me out, young buck. He said, you can learn a lot from a dummy. You can. You can learn very much from a person who's stupid. You can learn a lot from a stupid person. They have a lot to teach you. They have a lot to show. There's many different things that we can do with the dummy, or learn from them and their ways. And they're not always dumb. Sometimes they're just knuckleheads. Sometimes they're just people who don't appreciate their situation. You know, I meet more white people who want to champion rights for black people than black people. Is that because there's more white people than black people, though? Right. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't make, once again, it doesn't matter how a person tries to present what they're presenting. If you can go to something else and argue down what they're saying. And I'm not arguing down none of these guys, but I'm able to point out other factors that should be weighed into these things. That's all I'm doing, is pointing out the other factors. So when you hear me go into a different circumstance, the principality may maintain to being the same. Whether or not you can see the principles are the same, it has nothing to do with me. Nothing. I'm not in charge of what you perceive. Now, what you hear, nothing. You're grown. All I can do is try to give to you what it is that I am saying. You know, these dudes want to be right about something that we're all wrong about. We're all wrong about it. Nobody's gonna ever be right about something in a situation that is so far messed up, so far gone, that trying to seem as if you know something, you seem stupid. How many dudes have been caught up in scandals who were supposed to be so-called pillars? Right. It's how this happens. Because of pills. Red ones at that. Because the blue pill, that placebo, that dirty, dirty placebo, it doesn't do anything to you. Because just if y'all don't remember the Matrix, once again, let's just go back there real quick. If you died in the Matrix, you died in what? Okay, then. So it doesn't matter because they're still subject to the violence of that environment. They haven't taken themselves from that. Right. So death there is still death, period. You don't escape it. And by telling people that by taking this pill, this form of the dope, that hold on, this is not a placebo, this will do something to you. This will change your genetic constitution and how you see everything. And you, the glass of water, and then you wake up with little nodules on the back of your head and your back. Like, oh shit, the world is not what I thought it was. No. But once again, where's the option for the guy for no pill? I don't want the pill. I don't want none of that. I can see clearly that this is fake, or it's just not what I think it is. But whatever you want to give me can't be much better than this. And it's not. What they gave Neo wasn't the truth. It was another form of subjectivity. And ultimately one that led to his death. So, once again, if you figure yourself or fancy yourself to being a Neo type character, do you really want this red pill to be the end of you? And be honest with yourself right now. Right. I want you to make it. But if you're doping up on their shit that's cut with God knows what, you're going to put yourself in a position that you can't get out of. Based on another man's information and another man's words. Lead yourself. You can I listen to a lot of people. I'm leading myself. I'm my leader. I listen to the better part of my reasoning. I pray to the Most High. Can you dig that? You are your leader. You might look to somebody to be, but you're your leader. You don't need me or no other suck ass, don't have nothing ass nigga to tell you nothing. And I'm not calling myself a sucker, but I'm just saying that we don't have, who fucking want to tell you something? I don't have nothing. That's the measuring stick. That's the measuring stick, right? How much you have depends on what you can share with people. So because I just live in a 2-bedroom apartment and I have to have a roommate to pay rent so that way I can actually save money, right? So with that said, I'm just saying, man, I'm in no stretch of the imagination living in a mansion or nothing like that, or even in that kind of mentality. But I'm honest with myself. I know what it is that I'm working with. I know what it is that I can do right now. If you don't know what you're working with, if you don't know what you're worth, you can never stop taking these freaking red pills or the blue ones. Because the sugar pills got people messed up too. But you have to know what it is that you are truly dealing with within yourself. Because there's a level of anxiety that we all are subjected to when we have certain thoughts. We have repressed memories that come back to haunt us on the daily. All these different little things that I could point out that men go through. Not just men, but women too, but men go through. Men, you go through this, bruh. And I would never try to antiquate what you've been through by saying that, you know, you're a sucker for believing in a certain way. You know how crazy that makes me sound as a man? To call you a simp because you believe in your mind, because you have the money to, and it never hurts your pocketbook. And it's not like you're spending a lot of money. And this isn't me. I'm just saying, you might be one of these guys, because I know guys like this. You might want to take a woman out, and this might be your lady, and treat her to a good time. Is he a simp? Is he a trick now? Is he not? I mean, like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't get it. You tell me one time when you read in the Bible where you get like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, or any one of these dudes was like really oppressing their wife. You feel me? Where he's like, bitch, eyes to the ground. If you can tell me that, then I'm with you. And you can take my head right now. But if you can't go right now to the Old Testament, baby, and outside of the dirty ass dude that David got his first wife from, the dude who was what's the word? What's the word in the Bible? Churlish. I just can't think of the guy's name right now, and I want to say it might have been Abigail, but if it wasn't Abigail, it's the other lady that he's married to. But I'm pretty sure it's Abigail. Anyhow, he's a sucker, and baby girl saves him from getting his head cut off by David, from having David fuck him up. Let these niggas run loose. We're gonna take the chick anyway, and take everything you got anyway. But David was like, nah, because his woman came out here and was straight. Then dude ended up having a heart attack. David heard about it, sent for the chick. Besides all that, even all that said, that was an example of a sucker. To them, he was a sucker. He was a sucker in the Bible. He wasn't a real nigga. He was called churlish. Churlish is somebody who was without any real substance. So for you dudes right here, once again, who prance around thinking I can just treat women like shit, you're highly mistaken, bruh. You're highly mistaken. I'm not with you. I'm not with you. I'm not with you. What do you think your God is going to say to you when he's like, oh, so you treated them all like that, huh? Every single one of them you treated like that, huh? No, it doesn't work like that. Get the dope out of your system, people. All that dope, all that red pill dope. You got to start flushing it out now. Because red pill dope got people thinking that Donald Trump is on their side. No pill meat will tell you that D Treasies is going to do a couple things that as if you do the right things now, which is find a really good small business that is catered towards service and service only, and wait for the fall to happen, you're gonna be all right. That's no pill meats talking. These other dudes don't know nothing. They've never really read the books about firsthand exploits of what people had to do to survive the fucking depression. They don't even know about like the panics of like 1812, going that far back, which hurt, guys like Martin Van Buren and made them look really, 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 really bad. However, before we even get carried away on any things like that, no pill. That's what the no pill does. The no pill says, stand back, look, astral project out of your body and look at you and look at your condition and say, you know what? Yeah, that red pill got me looking kind of like one of these fiends right now. Because while I say I'm not about the pussy or I'm not about the women, look at where I'm at right now with my best clothes on. I saved my natural uniform, head and face, seeking to be approved of by the same species, opposite sex, mind you, that I was just told that I need not impress. Yet I should dress to impress. Because I'm listening to all these different red pill, all these guys who are feeding me dope. They're all doping me up. So because these guys don't recognize that they're part of the problem, the red pillars, yes, they're never going to see that their people are never going to come out of this because they've given themselves a label. That's why I said it's no pill philosophy. I don't want you to go around and start saying this. Just don't call yourself a red pillar. You're just you. You're just you. I'm just me. That's all I'll ever be, is this guy. When I die, guess who I'm going to die? This dude. Can you dig it? And I don't want to die nobody else, trying to be nobody else, or thinking on somebody else's level and terms. I'm going to think where I understand and stay where I understand. If that's what they understand, let them do that. But remember, if you believe in anything and you believe in the Most High, the creator of all things, blessed be He, then you should know that they don't have to stand there for you for judgment. Right. Right. So anybody can tell you how to do enchantments and wizardry. Anybody can tell you how to do any of that. That's not hard to do. To be a sorcerer, it's not hard to do. They're just copy pasting or reading, and then they've regurgitated. Now they're going to regurgitate to you what it is that they believe in their mind is correct. I'm not mad at that. If you listen to them, I'm mad at you for taking them at for more than face value. I'm mad at you because it's your mind, not theirs. And you let them in it, and you gave them the keys to your mind and your soul, in a sense, because you'll let these people drive you in a gasoline-covered car right to Hades. Yet there's no problems with that. There's no problems with nothing of what these guys do. I have yet to see people like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm tired of y'all talking about the. Stop talking about the chicks and talk about something else. Won't one of y'all show me how to get my money right? Where's that dude at? Who's only talking about how to get the money right? See, I would show people that, but then people would think I'm trying to tell them to be broke and to be poor, and I don't want to hear dudes be like, I like wearing Jordans too. I don't care. Right on? I don't care about how somebody else is whatever. If they're struggling and they don't want to start to say, you know what? I don't need this. 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 If they can't do that, I don't need this and I don't need this. If they can't do that, that's their fault. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. I know it ain't, because I'm not them. If I can't pay my rent this month, even though it's already paid, or next month coming up, that's not nobody's fault listening. That's on Demetrius Antoine Jones. So for me to put it on you as if what the content is so legitimately good that I deserve your dividends for, that's nonsense. A lot of this has to go to that. A lot of this goes back to, because a lot of these guys put ads in their content as opposed to asking for dividends, because they have a large enough following to not need to ask for money. So there's no need to. They put the advertisements in there. They get paid off of that. They'll get their little change off of that, and they'll take that, and they're content. And I'm not talking about them so much, because as much as you might hate the ads, skip it or pay for the YouTube stuff where they don't have ads. See, once again, if you're willing to pay, you're willing to pay. That's all there is to it. So I can't stop you from paying these dudes. I can't stop your family, your girlfriends, your mothers, your sisters, your uncles, your brothers, your whoever from paying these people. These chicks either. I can't stop them from paying them. All I'm saying to you is that think about this for just a moment. You're willing to give up your hard-earned dividends to a person who's telling you something that you more than likely have heard before. Right. And you think I'm crazy for telling you not to do that. And they'll call me a hater for telling you not to do that. But are they taking this money and going to go buy like what they did with Philando Castile with his foundation that he had, where, you know, I guess he used to pay for children's lunches out of his own pocket. Well, the district that he was in, they were able to pay off everybody's debt, you know, from as low as $1.50 to as much as $1,000. You know, they raised over $100,000 for it, And it was just one of those things where I'm like, $100,000 paid off all the freaking kids in his district's lunches. $100,000. That's all it took. And you're talking about kids don't have lunch to go to school with? Are you hearing me? How many of these red pillars do you think who are making a few grand a month off of, right? Some of you are paying these dudes. How many of them do you think are taking their money to the schools to do that kind of stuff? Or are they taking out women who are going to give up the panties because he bought an expensive bottle of wine and the most expensive thing on the menu for her with your money? Right. Or he's tricking it off. He's giving it to the chicks, whichever one. The same single mamas he was talking shit about is the same ones he's about to go let suck and fuck him, and then he gonna give her some money for that. But you listening to this dude like he knows what he's talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't know. If they did, they would not be in that position. I tell homeless people this all the time. When they walk up, start trying to beg for money, hey, look, bro, $2 is not going to fix this. I know that's not right to say to somebody. You know what I mean? But that's the truth. $2 is not going to fix this. Well, can I have 5? No, you can't. Here's 2. $2 is going to take the bite off of right now. And they're not even teaching people how to take the bite off of right now. And they have the people for it. You know, they have the people to show this to say, you know what? Yeah, we can do that. We can no problem do that. Man, but they're not even doing that. They're not even trying to. They have it built in their minds that as long as I produce a certain level of content, a certain type of visceral material, these men who've been, in so many words, done wrong by the system, a lot of them, are going to continue. Because what's $10? Nothing. Nothing. But what's $10 from 1,000 of us? Okay, then. And if that's sprinkled over a period of time, because that's 10 grand over a period of time. You know what I'm saying? That's a nice little hit over a little period of time. So let's say you get that 10,000 over a 3-month period. That's an extra 3 grand or some change per month that you got. You know, and that's just that's low balling. That's low balling what some of these people are really getting off of dudes, y'all. You know, you have to really recognize for them, it's a money scheme. They're all about money. They're all about money. And they have the audacity to teach you something about business, but they're taking your money from you. Does that make sense? Or does that sound like the crooked, white, dirty fucking devil? Right. And yet they have the audacity to speak on brothers like myself. And I ain't never heard one of them ever call me out because they don't know about me, thank God. But they have the nerve to speak on brothers like myself because I will call them out in their comment section. Gladly will say something that is very intelligent and not very, very rude at all, but pointing out small little things that some people don't want to hear. Nobody wants to hear this. Not no dudes, not no grown black men want to hear something. What's up, Wavy Ben? There? What up, Wavy Ben? What up? I'm just now seeing you, pimp. But nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that nonsense. Because as a grown black man, I want to be catered to certain degrees that I've never been catered to before. And these brothers are pandering, if you will, to the things that have never been pandered and catered to before, to the black man. So, of course, the appeal is higher. But I don't feel the need to pander to you nor cater to you anything other than what I know is going to help. It helps when we don't say to ourselves things like, we're going to build. I was saying something like this earlier. How are you going to build with broken pieces? The people are broken. How are you going to be? How does that make sense? How do you hammer with the hammer that won't hammer right? And you needed to do a specific angle of hammering, but you don't have the leverage from the handle to do that. So now this hammer might as well be useless. It's that simple. It's that simple. We don't have all the pieces needed to conducively construct something. We're broken. Until somebody who can fix us all comes along and fixes us, then we should worry about that. But they're broken too. So how can somebody who's broken, who's never had, they who molded them, yea, created them, fix them? And then tell you that we're going to build. What is there to build on? There's nothing to build on. He who builds on sand is a fool. The rock is your foundation, my friends. The rock is your foundation. And that's the problem with most people. That we don't recognize that we're sand, bro. We're not living by the rocks anymore. No large ones at that. Little pebbles. And we don't have enough of those to build a foundation. To build. We're broken. When people come to this level of thinking that they cannot save themselves, there is no saving yourself. There never will be. In this land, if any black man will tell you that you stand a formidable chance, he's a fucking liar. You want to know why? Because he's not telling himself that he was supposed to be a slave till right now. Any black woman who wants to disagree, she's a liar too, to the highest degree. Want to know why? Because what I just said, still supposed to be a slave. You're still supposed to be in shackles, getting demeaned, letting another man punk on your wife and make you raise the baby. And you wonder why black men have no problem doing this shit now. But do people talk about that? When they talk about that, the first thing they want to do is call them a simp. Also, the first slaves or your great granddaddy or great grandpappy was a simp, huh? Huh? Oh, so you would have tried to run away? Because everybody says that, but would they have really ran away? Would they have really put it all on the line? It's totally different when dogs is chasing you and will tear your flesh off. And these white boys will hang your ass from that tree till your neck break and you defecate and urinate all over yourself in front of everybody. It's easy to say these things. They're not there. A lot of these hyperactive, angry sounding black dudes were raised only by their mothers. Don't even know their dads. And got the nerve to tell you what a real man is. Nigga, you've never seen a real man. You've never seen one. Never. The real men, the closest men you ever seen were male influence. And I can't call them men because if they were shafting your mother and didn't teach you nothing and didn't give you nothing to go along with life forever, what kind of man is that? Right. Right. So for all you dudes who call yourself red pilling, right? And you'll go and you'll lay with somebody's mother once again and speak ill about women who do that. What kind of man are you? Are you lesser than them? You have to be in some way, but are you lesser than them? Answer that to yourself. Because that's the problem with people. Nobody wants to ask themselves the tough questions. They get the easy ones. Has a woman ever done you wrong? Yes. Have you ever done something that you wish you could have taken back? Yes. These easy ass fucking punk ass questions. Ask somebody something hard. Ask them the hard question. Do you and your brother have different fathers? Yes. Do you wish you had the same father? Woo! Right. Nobody wants to be asked these kind of questions. They don't want to get put on the spot. But I'm going to put you on the spot. The freaking hot seat. Because somebody has to put you there. Nobody's gonna put you there. Demetrius Antoine Jones will. And that's the thing about these dudes is that I will ask these guys, you know, it's just nobody's doing it. Where's the dude to be like, hey man, I want to see the results of what you're saying. I want to see the results of that. You get what I mean? These guys count their success with viewers, no, excuse me, with views and subscribers. That is their success. I'm a real life dude. People know about me in real life in another city that I don't live in. Can you dig it? Like when I go to work, people see me and they know exactly who I am. They know what the vehicle is, what time it is, all that. What time you setting up? What time you gonna be ready? Ooh, come on, man. I know what it's really like to really be pressed by the people. These dudes, look, these guys probably couldn't tell you the last time because they probably don't verbally talk to folks, except for on this internet thing here. They couldn't tell you the last time somebody walked up and said, hey, man, drop some knowledge on me. OGs, dudes that are way older than you, talking about drop some knowledge on me. And nobody wants to hear it's just, I don't know, man. Nobody wants to talk about the truth, the real. That's the real. That's the honest to God, to the turf. These people are making so much off of folks. They're not showing the people how to do anything. They're giving out these things like a red pill. And they attach it to shit. And it is cancerous. I'm just now starting to see that it's cancerous. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but it's cancerous. We're going to get to the level where you guys start to see that some of the folks that you entertain some days are full of shit, complete full of shit. And they're only after your coffers. Only then when you get to that level will you then accept what it is that I've said wholeheartedly. No arguing, no nothing. You're going to be like, damn, that's crazy. That bro said that. And bro's not lying. Bro's not lying. Bro kept it 100. He's really right about that. No pill, people. Get there before it gets to you. Get there before there's no more red pills to take. Get there before you find out that the red pill is just another form of dope that they got everybody freaking hooked on. Straight up. It's an internet dope. It's an internet dope. It's meta dope. Oh, if that's even a real one. It's meta dope. And it's got everybody hooked. Had me all in it. Up until late last year where I really started to take a look back what I was like trying to do. And I was like, man, some of this is fuckery that you're doing, bro. You know, I'm just being honest with myself. I'm telling y'all what I was doing. I told myself, like, nigga, some of this shit you doing is fuckery. Straight up. It don't even make sense. And not only is it fuckery, but good thing you don't talk about it because you would be a hypocrite then. So once again, this is coming from a dude who's like, it's easy for me to get a chick. My job, I deal with a lot of different people, but I deal with a lot of women. So it's not hard to do that. My thing was I was telling myself shit like this. And so this is me just being 100 with you. It's like, okay, boom. Even though I know I should talk to a black chick and I should probably really want to be with one, if another girl or another woman is in my face first, I'm going to talk to her. And I'm just not going to worry about this black chick. And I had to really like get that out of my head. Or I'm like, no, I want my babies to look like me. Because I always say this. I'm like, I want all my babies to look like me. My son, you know, I might pull up a picture of him or whatever and screen share with y'all. But my son, who he's mixed, you know what I'm saying? He's I mean, yeah, he's black. Don't get me wrong. his mom is a mixed person, right? You know what I mean? She's black and white, but to me, he's mixed. I mean, like, I don't know how else to say that about my son. Like, he can be black to everybody else, but to me, he's a mixed guy. You know, like, and that's not trying to cut him off at the legs. That's just trying to be fair about the situation that he's in and that I'm in as his father, and then to him as my son. And uh, 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 I just think it's awkward. You know, I'm literally having this conversation with y'all like that. Like I had to like tell myself like, bro, get the fuck real. You're not gonna go and have a bunch of mixed babies and then promote what the hell it is that you're promoting out of your mouth. You can't do that. That was the sin of the priest. That was their initial sin, making strange children. And these are with other black skin like people. So understand this, that when you try to pull that all black people are the same, apparently they're not. Apparently they're not. And with that said, am I wrong? Because I'm like, I'd rather deal with somebody who's receptive to me than somebody who's not. I personally don't feel like I'm wrong. But I know better. Because what I've been saying this whole time. So I know better. Doesn't matter what I feel. Forget your feelings. Pack those away and dig a big ass hole and get rid of those things, okay? Until you need them, then you go dig them out again. But so that way you have to go on a journey for those emotions. So that way you have time to think before you get angry, time to think before you get upset or excited or any of that. It gives you time. So bury those things deep within you. Pat the dirt down on it, and then know that when you need to go get them again, it's gonna take some digging. I don't want you to be autonomous, nowhere close. I just don't want you to be governed by how you feel. I want you to govern how you feel and then govern your actions with that. That's what I want you to do. Because if we did that as black men and then preached that to each other, promoted that to each other, practiced that with one another, eventually we would see a change in ourselves. It wouldn't even take years. Wouldn't take years. It would take months for this to happen. But there's once again the black men with the followings. This is how I know that this is the Most High doing this. They don't preach that. They don't even say that. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. They're not teaching these dudes how to put together their own foundations in their neighborhoods so that way they can feed the poor and the homeless in their neighborhoods, so that way they can provide basic medical attention to the poor in their neighborhoods. They're not doing that. They don't even give a damn. And have the nerve to be like, these black whores this, black whores that. Nigga, his mama probably a black whore and got the nerve to talk like that. And then will tell you out the same lips how he loved his mama. I love my mom and my dad. I love all my people. But hey, Tammy Browser, how you doing, baby girl? Big sister. You're funny. Meta dope. I know, I'm just saying though, that's what it is. But still though, my people are my people. And I love my mom and my dad. And I'm never gonna trade up who they are. But for me to try to act like I've never seen my parents do things that are unscrupulous, that I'm like, I should probably never do that I may myself have done, totally different. Totally different. We're on the cusp, people. I don't know if y'all can feel it, but we're on the brink. Donald Trump is about to bring some stuff to its knees. D. Treasy, my hitter. You know why he's my hitter? One reason. Because he's gonna break down this so-called cohesion with black folks, he's going to deteriorate it. He's already done an excellent job, doing an excellente job at that. See, they got you worried about fighting for other people's rights. D. Treasy's like, they're going to start to notice that they are different people and that they have different objectives in mind. And as long as I can get them to do that, so it's going to be conservative black people versus non-conservative black people. Watch, bet your top, middle, bottom dollar on this. Red pill my ass. It's going to be something crazy that you ain't never seen before, folks. Something crazy that you ain't never seen before. And it's not going to take place the way that you think it's going to take place. It's going to be family members cutting each other off and people no longer talking to each other, no longer dealing with each other, no love for each other no more. It's going to be like that. Hasn't happened like that just yet. So no pill yourself up. Get off the dope. Because when your people that you think love you start treating you a certain type of way because they feel that you don't see things that the way that they see them, and they're being promoted to separate themselves, as the red pillars tell everybody to separate. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. Everybody's saying to separate themselves. So how long until the division takes place? Right. How long until black people stop saying that, you know what, we're all not the same? It's coming. It is coming. And when it does come, they are just, I don't know. They're going to get caught off guard. We're all going to get caught and get hit with the whammy. You know, no, I don't think anybody's outside of the whammy. I don't think anybody is bigger than that. I just really feel that we're not in a position, once again, still as people, to say that we want to build. We're broke. We're broken. And we're giving everything we got to other broken people. You think these guys don't wake up in the middle of the night wishing that that chick that he was really in love with had never did what she did, or he never did what he did? You don't think they wake up feeling like that? It's crazy. You're giving this to they're regular people, and you're giving them this, you know, this. Once again, it's just like they're celebrities, and these guys are drunk on their internet fame. And oh my goodness, they are loving it. Some of them are loving it. You can tell. You can tell that some of these dudes never were important before this. How they speak, the level of tenacity for certain subjects. Whenever they speak on those subjects, you can tell that these are the things that actually bother them the most. You know, there's a lot of dudes who talk bad about chicks because they were never able ever had it good with chicks. Never in their life. They got a little YouTube notoriety. Somebody noticed them one day, got some free drinks, maybe even got some girly action or something like that, and now they think they're somebody. It's crazy, you know. Or they heard somebody talking about their material one day and was like, oh, that's me. That's my channel. See what I'm saying? Because it's a small earth and an even smaller city or state that you live in. So just the fact that we're dealing with this on this level, it should say what it is to us all, y'all. It should tell us what it is that we're dealing with. We're dealing with a situation that's about to implode, and once it does that, you have to, once again, if you're in that world, red or blue pilled, you will be affected by that. No pill yourself out way in the distance and yonder, so you can look at it and be like, damn, he sure enough did say they was going to do that. He sure enough did say they was going to do that. How long can you build with people who think it's okay to still be with other men's women? Oh, she chose, huh? Right. How are you gonna build what people are broken? How can you build like that? And this is what they're all really about. Black people having something. You ain't been listening to anything I've been saying. You ain't supposed to have shit, nigga, because you're supposed to be a slave still. Get the fuck over yourself. Just like that. That's what they should be saying to you. That's what I just said to you. I'm 27. So for me to have come to that conclusion, and none of these 40, 50, 30, late 30-year-old dudes are not telling you this, that's because they don't know. And I'm not going to knock them, but they don't know. So how can they say anything to me? How? When they won't even say to themselves the most honest thing that there is that they should still be a slave. When you tell yourself this, there is no such thing as a red pill. It's fake. It's red pill that. Because if you can take that, then you will tell yourself, right, there's no need for any of that kind of thinking. It'll get you hurt once again. You think it was red pills that made slaves realize they were slaves? Or do you think it was this dude telling them every day, nigga, you a slave, you're my slave, that told his black ass he was a slave? He need no red pill for that. He lived and experienced things that told him he was lesser than. He didn't need no red pill to realize he had two legs to run with. He didn't need no red pill to tell him I better do this shit at night. He didn't need none of that. So what is a red pill? That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm saying to you. It's not a forward attack on people who call themselves red pillars. It's a forward attack on pharmakia and dope. And people associating their mindset with pharmakia and dope and thinking that there ain't nothing wrong with that. And getting their people to associate themselves with pharmakia and dope. I'm not wrong. They hate us. They hate us that much that they'd rather see you do dope than see you get a job. And that ain't never bothered you. Ain't never made you wonder nothing. Ain't never made you think I should probably pay attention to what it is that they're trying to really do. Don't none of y'all find it just a little awkward that they treat you the way that they treat you? You don't find it a little awkward that of all the things that they could have gave black people, they gave them pig intestines for the fucking waste of the animal circumvents itself through to eat. That is considered the filthiest animal within the text of the Hebrew scripture. Nobody finds that awkward. That's the same thing to me as one of these red pills. It's just like chitlins or something like that. It seems good because it's all you got. But what happens when there's options later? Are we going to just say that, well, red pillars were, well, you know, they were just working with all, that's all they had to work with? Or are people going to say shit like, you know what? Nah, bro, there was, just like there were slaves who didn't eat, who never ate chitlins, never ate them, ever. Never ate them. I know you guys are like, that's bullshit. No, there's black people who never ate that. Why would they want to? They knew where they came from. You feel me? And they're like, they had enough sense. Once again, no red pill needed to not want to eat that. So they said, nigger, either you can get this or you can get nothing. And you know what bro said? Because there was no placebo. Can you dig it? Was no sugar pill. There was just that red pill. That damn pig intestines. The damn chitlins. Yeah? And bro said, nah, fuck that, I'll starve. My sister said, fuck that, I'll starve. I'd rather die than do that. If you don't come to the conclusion in your mind that you would rather die than do some of these things, you're going to die doing those things and not survive to see that you might have actually made it by being resilient and resistant. It's okay to resist. It is okay to resist. It's okay. That's why this is called Expound No Pill Philosophy. So we could just cover all the little stuff. You know, we've covered a lot of it that they talk about, but the bulk of it is just them trying to get paid off of people, which is what I feel like I have to address, because they're so, once again, they're so willing to tell you about how bad the women are, but they're doing what they say the women do. They're doing the exact same things. It's horrible. It's trash. Today is Wednesday. The time on deck is 7:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Been doing this for the last couple hours. I got probably about another 15, 20 minutes in me. So I want to touch on some things that are, I'm not going to say they're more controversial, but most definitely more heartfelt. And it's going to be not blood mixing, you know. A lot of these guys will try to tell you, you know, it's okay to be with whoever you want to be with, you know, blah 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 blah. We're all one people. That's bullshit. Well, first off, we're all not one race. We're not all one human race. I don't want to hear that. That's number one. Number two, um, there is a level of acceptance that they have yet to come to. So they look like their parents. Yes, they do. Unless they're already mixed, you should ask a person something like this, like, do you want your grandchildren to look like you? Because it bypasses them and it goes right to their children. And if they're anywhere on the level of, yeah, I want my grandbabies to look just like me, then you have to ask them, well, what do they get off telling people that they can blood mix? The baby's not going to. I met a sellout nigga one time. Not really a brother. Really, he's a white dude in black flesh. His grandfather's a white guy on his daddy's side, or great grandfather, whatever. And he was like, "Yeah, I look just like the man." He was so proud, he was so proud of it, y'all. You should have. And these are the kind of people that we have to contend with. He looks like a black dude, but paternally, through his father, if you go far enough back, it's a white guy. That's a fucking white dude I'm looking at. I don't give a damn what you tell me. How black he look, how black he acts, he talks, whatever. That's a white dude. And that's what blood mixing does, is that because they've mixed so many different times, now people don't know that he's really just a white guy. Right on? Nobody knows that. That's the danger of blood mixing. So and you can say the same thing for a white guy or anybody else, or any other race or person. You could put them all in that. Well, let's just use black to white. It could be a white dude. And I know white dudes like this right now that have black grandpas and they look white. It happens. It happens. Because their father might be mixed. Then their mother's most definitely not whatever their grandpa was. And now here they are. Look at them. Look at you now. And do you think their grandparents knew that in 2 generations I'd have babies that look nothing like me? That's where we're at, people. That's the end of this no pill philosophy for you. These last couple moments. Mull that over. If there was no blood mixing ever in the United States, ever, do you think you'd be where you're at right now? Huh? And how many of your friends that you entertain, that you think are brothers or sisters, are actually black and white skin and are actually white and black skin? Right. Nobody wants to hear these things because then it challenges all that they know, changes their identity, makes them not who they think they are. I know there's a white woman, our I know that there's a white woman who's in our bloodline, you know, on my dad's side. But what can I do about that? You feel me? I know this. I accept it. I accept it. It's life. As part of it being life, it just happens. You see what I'm saying? Uh, I just don't know, you know, like how else to take it. How else do we take it, y'all? How else do we look at it? One of my very first things when I was doing my spiritual gumbos, when I very first started, was I used to always talk about strange children and how they were the reason why Israel fell. I know this for a fact. I left that alone when I stopped, when I did my last spiritual gumbo culmination. And I pretty much, since then, I've kind of alluded to it, but when I say I've left the strange children thing alone, I've really left it alone. But it ties into the shit that I was talking about with Middle Earthers, this, that, and the third. However, once again, I'm talking about no pill, okay? They're talking about red and blue ones and purples and green ones. They're talking about dope. Get yourself free from the dope. Then you can make a decision. Rehab yourself, meaning don't get on the internet. Don't listen to anything that anybody has to say. That's rehab. You got to go through the withdrawals. You're going to go through the withdrawals. You might have a couple relapses, but eventually get clean from the dope. To where when you do decide to listen to these people, you're listening from a point of view that is a speculator. I speculate. That's why I can speculate on what I'm saying now. At best, that's all I can do because I don't know these people. However, I can tell you that what I've said, not one little piece of what I've said has been meant to throw you off or to make you go and do something stupid, commit a crime, get yourself killed, or to come up short, or to lose your salvation and your soul. I appreciate you, everybody who's been watching, been listening. It has been when I say a blessing and an honor, I bow my head to you, really do. I feel like I feel like this is better than me doing an expound at the house because once again I can't go back on it. This is it. It's here right now, and that's what I love about it. And I love you all. I really do. Stay out the way. Once again, no pills for nobody. We don't need those. You guys have a blessed day, and we'll figure it out. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it sooner than later. I'll try to. I'm working on that piece, Roger Spice. I just got to go and get a couple more comments lined up because I got to read them. I got to read the comments off and record it as I do it and then go about it like that because the way I wanted to do it at first is not going to work. I do appreciate everything that is going on. I do appreciate our entire situation. We are going to be better one day, sooner than later. And when we are, for those who do make it, even if I don't make it, for those who do make it, man, it was an honor to have lived on earth at the same time as you. And I wouldn't trade any of you people, from my brothers to my sisters, even to those that I call my enemies. I wouldn't trade them for no other time on planet Earth. I appreciate this. But thank the Most High Yahweh host for everything that he does, everything that he does not do, and may he be with us all. Amen.